Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Russian forces attacked Ukraine overnight with nearly 200 drones. Authorities have reported drone strikes hitting multiple locations across the country. Earlier this morning, Russian troops struck the center of Sumy. The attack caused a fire, prompting rescuers to evacuate around 50 people. The strike hit a hotel, and while firefighters were extinguishing the blaze, a second attack followed. Russian forces also targeted civilian and port infrastructure in Odessa. 2 people were injured and hospitalized. A kindergarten building was destroyed, and port fuel tanks, construction cranes, and other civilian infrastructure were also damaged. In Zaporizhia, 4 people were injured as a result of a Russian strike, and 2 residential buildings caught fire. On the front line, in the area of Liman, Russian troops are infiltrating Ukrainian rear positions, though often in a disorganized manner, allowing Ukrainian forces to detect and eliminate them. Logistics remains the main challenge in this sector, which is severely complicated by the constant presence of Russian drones. As a result, Ukrainian units can carry out troop rotations and evacuations mainly during periods of bad weather. Ukrainian analysts warned that as weather conditions improve, Ukrainian defensive capabilities in the area may weaken. Meanwhile, according to the Institute for the Study of War, no active combat has been recorded within Pokrovsk for an extended period. Based on this, the Institute suggested that Russian forces may have completed the capture of the city. However, according to a map updated by the open-source intelligence organization Deep State, the northern outskirts of Pokrovsk remains a gray zone, indicating that the situation is still contested. Now, moving on to tensions which have escalated sharply between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif announced the start of what he called an open war with the Taliban, which currently governs Afghanistan. He accused the Taliban government of turning Afghanistan into a, quote, colony of India, harboring terrorists from around the world and exporting terrorism. He also said that Afghan forces had carried out aggressive attacks on Pakistan, prompting a decisive response. Pakistan conducted airstrikes on several Afghan cities, including Kabul, as well as in the provinces of Paktia and Kandahar. Pakistan's information minister said that 133 Taliban fighters were killed and more than 200 injured in the strikes. In response, Afghanistan's defense ministry announced that on the evening of February 26, Afghan forces have captured 2 Pakistani military bases and 19 checkpoints, claiming that 55 Pakistani soldiers were killed. The conflict between Pakistan and the Taliban has been escalating since autumn 2025, with Pakistan accusing the group of failing to act against the militant organization Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, which has carried out numerous attacks inside of the country. During a recent mission, a Ukrainian crew destroyed a Russian Shahed-136 suicide UAV from aboard an AN-28 aircraft. A 6-barrel M134D minigun mounted aboard was used to hit the target. Guidance was provided using laser illumination, which allowed the crew to accurately track the drone and open fire at the right moment. Ukrainian soldiers from the NC-13 company, part of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade, demonstrated their skillful control of ground-based one-way attack systems. 3 of the platforms sit off for their target in a banzai attack formation, swift, coordinated from different directions. The Russians reacted quickly, opening artillery fire and launching FPV drones to intercept the robots on their approaches. However, the pilots' skillful actions minimized the losses. Constant maneuvering, changing course, and using terrain for cover, all of this thwarted the enemy's attempt to stop the attack. 2 of the 3 vehicles broke through to the target and exploded, taking it out.
Ти прикинь, як ще з їхніх впівішників.
Ми розряджаємо на снаряди і заряди.
Скидач, назад. Назад. Він не може знайти. Скид! Назад!
Є, живі!
Назад! Ти прикинь, як ще з їхніх півішників б'є.
Іде спереду. Давай. Промазав. Є. Я можна думати, що це техніка їде. Є зв'язок. Назад, рез! Літає. Давай назад.
In the North Slobozhansk area, Ukrainian border guards intercepted a Russian Shahed-136 strike UAV using conventional small arms. The drone was flying at low altitude, attempting to use the terrain for cover. The crew quickly detected the target and opened fire. After several rounds, the drone lost stability, dropped, and crashed outside populated areas. Despite the widespread belief that such targets require exclusively air defense systems, practice shows that with proper observation and a quick response, even small arms can be effective against slow-moving strike UAVs. A Ukrainian soldier from the National Police of Ukraine's Loot Brigade was seriously wounded while performing a combat mission recently. The injury was critical. Every moment counted. His comrades in arms didn't wait for the evacuation team. Right there at their position, in difficult conditions and at risk of renewed shelling, they performed a blood transfusion. After providing first aid, the soldier was quickly evacuated to a stabilization point where medics continue intensive treatment. Let's take a look at the story.
Візьми. Так, акуратно ножки. Давай. Давай, притяни. Все, з Богом, пацан. З Богом! Стоп, вліво. Давай. Їдь. Не заводиться. Глуши, ще раз заводь. Не заводиться. Висипаємося десь. Давай будемо витягувати його в хату будинемо. Тяни! Іди! Смотри, давай, Баджаріку, спускайся. По чуть-чуть, не спіша. Давай. Братан, терпи. Варіантів ні. Затягуй.
А вже маленька. Певно, надовго зависить.
Трошки часу доведеться потратити, щоб це все провести в порядок.
In the city of Konstantinivka, Ukrainian pilots from the 28th Separate Mechanized Brigade recorded Russian troops using phosphorus munitions on residential buildings. This video shows characteristic pockets of ignition and the scattering of incendiary elements over the target. Immediately after that, the city was hit with a heavy Fab-1500 aerial bomb. This is what the Russian army have been doing to Ukrainian cities for 4 years now, deliberately destroying everything. And with that, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TPP World.